Awesome. Hey everyone, welcome to the second annual Nib and Ink Fest. I'm Cody. I'm super stoked to be the one to welcome you all to our second annual virtual month-long comic fest. As comic conventions begin to stray away from being focused on actual comics, here at Cartoonist United, we wanted to create an accessible virtual event that celebrates comics and comics creators at like its core. So every weekend throughout the month of May, we've got panels, workshops, and portfolio reviews running for both comic creators and comic fans alike. And it's super stoked you're here to join us. Throughout the month, you can also shop for comics made by Cartoonist United creators in the marketplace, ranging from short comics to longer works, with many comics being priced as pay what you want. We're super amped that all that money earned through sales goes straight into their respective creators' pockets, minus POS processing fees. In the marketplace, you can also download our free webcomic sampler and buy our Oops All Comics charity zine, which benefits the operating costs of our organization. From here on out, I'll be walking us through how to use the NIF website, how to check things out in the NIF marketplace, and how to save and attend events. Our moderating team will be dropping links for you in the chat to follow along, and if you have any questions, feel free to put them in there too. So without further ado, let's get started with the NIF website, which is nif.cartoonist.coop. Um, the website has a lot of helpful information at the top for participating in NIF, including a link to our events tab, which contains the schedule, all our programming for the month of May, our vendors tab, which showcases all the Cartoonist United members who have work for sale, um, and or for free download in our marketplace, our FAQ tab, which answers a bunch of your commonly asked questions, and our submission guidelines for this past year, which of course submissions are currently closed as we're currently in the middle of NIF, but you're welcome to check them out to see uh, if how we selected the comics for this year, and if you're interested in participating in NIF for next year, you can kind of get an idea of what we're looking for. Finally, our code of conduct, which our events team will go over in more detail later, as well as a link to the Cartoonist United digital residency. Finally, if you haven't already, I encourage you to scroll down a little bit and sign up for the NIF mailing list, which is where we'll be sending out weekly newsletters with comic previews, event reminders, and more. So let's check out the events page. Yeah, there's so many comics and events this year. It's great. Events page. As you can see, there's so much planned for this month. Again, NIF events are happening every weekend throughout May. Almost all of them are being held on Zoom, like this one, and live streamed to the Cartoonist United YouTube channel, where you'll also be able to watch the VOD recordings of those events at a later date once they are uploaded. The default view on the events page is a list, which is up here, but my personal favorite view is month. You can switch between list, month, and day right over here. And whether you're accessing um, an events listing from list, month, or day view, just click on one and you can see further details of that event. From an event's individual listing, you can find the description of the event's date and time, the Zoom link for it, and importantly, you can add that event to your calendar, whichever calendar you might use, Google Calendar, iCalendar, Outlook 365, or Outlook Live. And I will demo Google Calendar for you all. So let's just add this event to my Google Calendar. It's going to pop up. It lets me save it, easy peasy, with the Zoom link too. So I already have that. Um, and and now we've got it. Yeah, right here. Now I'm gonna attend Homestuck Beyond the Canon on the 16th. Yeah, I do love. As Joan has pointed out in the chat, object permanence issues be gone, add events to your calendar. And on that note, if you have the time and are interested to and want to attend every single event that's happening throughout the month of May, there is an option for you to subscribe to the calendar and add everything at once. If you do that, it'll add literally every NIF event to your personal calendar and you'll be set. And I do encourage you to try that because all the events are free. When your event that you're interested in attending, the date and time rolls around, just click on the Zoom link if you want to attend via Zoom, and you'll be able to enter the Zoom room after reading and agreeing to our anti-harassment policy, which for the folks who have joining us in Zoom today, um, you should have had to agree to come in here. Yeah. We appreciate everyone adhering to these guidelines to help us all have a great experience with NIF. And otherwise, if you'd like to use YouTube notifications for event reminders, if you check out the Cartoonist United YouTube page, which is YouTube/at Cartoonist Co-op, um, we do have our live stream eligible events already listed. Some of our Zoom events, like the NSFW portfolio review, will only be held on Zoom, but otherwise, for everything that is being mirrored to the YouTube, they're already there for you to sign up for notifications. Um, if you'd like to chat with your fellow attendees during an event or ask the panelists questions, be sure to opt to join us via the Zoom room, as only Zoom rooms will have chat moderators and chat enabled. Otherwise, if you prefer to watch an event live like a TV show, then the chatless live stream on YouTube might be more your jam. And all right, with that, that ends our little section on events. I'm going to take us back to the Nib and Ink main page so we can go check out the marketplace, which is right there, center of the NIF website, nice, bright, and bold. Um, so the NIF marketplace, the NIF marketplace is where you'll find all the comics that are on sale this year from Cartoonist United creators, as well as our 2026 NIF sampler and our Oopso Comics charity zine, both of which I'll go over in more detail in just a second. So literally every single comic that you see here in the marketplace, as well as all the comics that are in the zine and the sampler, were made by Cartoonists United members, and we're so excited to showcase that variety of skills and stories that our members have to offer. From the main page, you can hit all comics to see our entire catalog, which is full catalog is organized alphabetically by title, and make sure you check out all 80 plus comics that we've got here. Each comics page will give you a description, a page count, genre, info about the creator, and you can also use those genres to like click through and find more comics within those categories, which is super cool, super awesome. I love it. Uh, checking out with a comic is pretty much standard web shopping experience, but I do want to point out that some of these comics, like we mentioned before, are pay what you want, which means they've got flexible tier pricing. So, for example, Tomcat Bachelors by Kid Sid is a pay what you want comic. So for pay what you want comics, there's a drop down menu where you can choose the US dollar amount you'd like to pay for the comic. Some of them are available for completely free if you'd like, but I would like to remind you that all the funds earned from a comic sales goes directly to the creator, aside from that credit card processing fee. If the comic is free, then no fee is applied. Otherwise, if it's pay what you want, the fee scales appropriately. Uh, and upon checkout with a comic, you'll get all your comics download links to your email. So be on the lookout for that in your email inbox. And I did want to mention very quickly this year that we have a new feature. So if you scroll with me to the bottom, there we now offer a one-click option for you to buy every single comic in the marketplace at once. So if you just go ahead and click on this intriguing orange button, uh, there's a fun page which excellent copy that lets you add all comics to your cart at once for a grand total of $532.48. It's gonna prompt you to make sure you want to add all 84 items to your cart, which I'm sure you do. So let's go ahead and click OK. And it will go ahead and add everything to your cart. And I've already tested it out, so I've now got 2 copies of everything in the marketplace in my cart. But if I were sure I was going to make this purchase, I just go ahead and check out and go through that great process. But I think I might show my email address or my living address, so I won't actually do that. It is the ultimate option. Um, uh, let me take us back to the marketplace main page. Before we wrap up this dive on the marketplace, I do want to point out the two special products that are pinned to the top of the main, the storefront, which is our Nibbin Ink Fest Sampler 2026 edition and our Oops All Comics charity zine. The NIF Sampler is completely free to download. And it's like a magazine digest featuring sample pages from Cartoonists United members' webcomics. So it's an incredible way to discover new free-to-read webcomics and learn about the Cartoonists United members who create them. I think it's great. It's like it's a beast. Yeah, 372 pages. There's so many comics in that. It's super fun. It's just a great little way to discover like a variety of webcomics across genres. And lastly, the Oops All Comics charity zine features brand new from last year, single page comics made by CU members, and it comes in two options: the Safe for Work version or the not an NSFW version. The regular version is suitable for all ages, and the NSFW includes the same comics as the Safe for Work version with a couple extras at the end, just for adults. Both versions are just $5, and the proceeds of both versions are going to go straight to the Cartoonists United operating expenses, which is how we bring incredible events like NIF to you. So if you feel like helping out the Cartoonists United, this is a great way to, and getting some comics while you do it, that's a great option. So I think with that, think that wraps up my orientation, but I did want to just briefly go over the vendors page, which I didn't go into great detail. If you want to learn more about or see the social media links of the Cartoonists United members who are showcasing work in the marketplace, I super encourage you to come check this out because that's great and it's awesome. We didn't have this last year, so I'm pretty excited about this. Great job to the folks who worked on that. Yeah. So now I'll end this orientation and I'm going to pass it off in a second. But if you have any questions for us, please feel free to put them in the chat and we'll be happy to answer you. Otherwise, if you're joining us via live stream and you've got a question, you can always email the NIF team at fest, that's FEST, at cartoonist.coop. And with that, I'm going to pass things off to Joan. Take it away, steering.
Hello. Thank you so much for that wonderful intro, Cody. We have so many amazing comics. We have such a well put together website. I've heard that both the vendors page and the listings are randomized. Is that true? This is not your section anymore, so you don't have to answer. Hi, everybody. Um, my name is Joan Zahra Dark. I am one of the steering founding members of Cartoonists United. I am also your committee chair for Nibbin Ink Fest this year. This is my last year at the moment running Nibbin Ink Fest, and I'm so excited to be helping bring this amazing festival to y'all. But I'm first and foremost coming to you as a steward of Cartoonists United. If you are not familiar already, Cartoonists United, we are a member-led organization that is primarily focused on the betterment and workers' rights for comic workers internationally. We organize online for cartoonists all over the world, trying to work towards betterment of wages, trying to improve working conditions for artists, and generally building up people power and resources to make sure that anyone who makes comics feels like they have space where they can feel supported and feel like they're not alone in the work that they're doing. So much of why Nibbin Ink Fest is important to us is really kind of a celebration of this ethos and really trying to get at this core of celebrating comics, celebrating the people who make comics, and making sure that we take the time to celebrate how much work goes into making this amazing sequential medium happen. Um, I will first and foremost say, if you are not already a Cartoons United member, it is very easy to join if this is your first time hearing about it, or maybe you've been thinking about it and maybe thinking about joining. If you're anyone that makes comics, you can check us out over at cartoonist.coop/join. If you might have heard that we used to be called the Cartoonist Cooperative, we are now switching over to branding as Cartoonist United to like solidify our position as we're getting set up. But so you'll see some of the URLs reflect that as well. So yeah, cartoonist.coop/join is the URL. If you want to hear more about our organization, hear about the kind of member benefits that come with the space, it does not cost anything to join Cartoonist United. The only requirement is just that you pitch in, once a year in some way to help another member, help the organization in some fashion, whether that's, offering feedback on someone else's work, sending out, working to help send out review copies for a member, helping with social media, helping work on one of our amazing committees, like this one that puts together Nib and Inkfest. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, we are really trying to lean into the kind of power that members have to work together collectively to bring about change. In the past year, you've seen things like our Hiveworks statement that have come together to kind of rally around the work that members do and the importance of making sure that folks' voices are heard. And we're really trying to make sure that we are focusing on what the labor aspect of our organization. We have things like the comic workers survey that is also going right now in that vein for amazing work that our different committees are doing that we're trying to showcase for like publishing the rates that people make and what is going on in the industry and why this needs to necessitate change and why we need better best practices. All that to say, there has never been a better time to join Cartoonists United. We always have something going on, and we rely on all of our members to make sure that this work keeps happening. So if any of this sounds interesting to you, if you want to help support the next Nib and Ink Fest to make this happen again next year, if you want to just be in a space with a bunch of other amazing artists to support what they're doing and have them support what you're doing, I would really recommend it. So cartoonist.coop/join is the URL one more time for checking in there. And yeah, I think that's the long and short of it. I could be saying more, but I think a lot of it is explained by what we have going on. You can see it on our website. And so I think I will go ahead and pass the mic again and just go get into our last little bits here.
Hi, my name is Multi. I'm also part of the Nib and Ink Fest events team, and I just wanted to highlight again, even though we got on a little bit earlier during the orientation, our anti-harassment policy. We here are trying to provide a safe, respectful, and inclusive environment, and you probably already saw this little message when you joined the Zoom chat. But as you know, harassment, discrimination, offensive behavior is not allowed at all against our hosts or participants. And we're expecting attendees to be respectful, mindful of others, and follow the community guidelines that I will post in chat for your convenience. It's also linked on our site, as you saw earlier. Oh, there you go. and violations could and may result in removal from the event by one of our moderators. And if you have any concerns at all during an event in the chat, you can always report to one of our event moderators, which will be labeled within the Zoom chat. It'll say moderator within their nickname. And whenever you're in an event, these guidelines will apply to you. But with that last reminder, that's it from us. I want to thank you all so much for joining us, and I'm so excited for this month. It's going to be full of great events, and I do want to highlight one event in specific, that being our Mini Comics Award. It'll be our 5th annual, which I think is some special anniversary, but I actually don't know. Um, it spotlights unique, challenging, and underrecognized work in short form medium. And this year it'll be hosted by Mary Shine. So if there was one event to go to this month, I would make it that one. But of course, there are plenty great ones, and you're in for a great month and a great NIF. That's it. Thank you all again for coming, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Oh, it's wood. 5th year's wood. All right, well, see you all.
Are we good? Is this a hot mic?